world.
Are we live? Are we live?
Are we live? Are we going to do that every
doing
time
this?
from now?
Are we live? Hey, are people watching us? Are we on?
Pay attention to us. Look at us. Look at
Please,
me.
look at me. I'm
Look at
important.
me.
I am so important.
We are live. If you're out there in Snarf Talk land with us,
The world.
give us a like. Maybe give us a share.
Maybe a good thumbs up.
We forgot to tell people to like and share. When people used to do that, our numbers went through the roof.
I tell you what.
We forgot to tell people to do it, and now they don't do it.
And
but
then
you can
we didn't see the shares and the likes.
like us, share us, and follow us on Facebook. Look at that snazzy graphic there.
I can't see it.
You can't see it.
I haven't pulled this up yet, so I can't see it.
And as always, check us out on patreon.com/snarfcomics, where you can go to support the show for as little as $1 a month.
That's cheap.
We've been...
Chris, I've bought so many things at the gas station worth more money than $1.
I know.
Even worth more money than $5.
I bought 2 Mountain Dew Zeros today, and it was buy 2 for $3.33.
I go to the gas station.
What a weird number.
And I drop some cash.
Do you?
Oh my gosh. I spend way too much money at gas stations.
Oh, I know.
It's because we live in the Midwest and there
sickening.
is Casey's. Ugh, Casey's. The money suck.
Casey.
The money suck of the Midwest.
I ate. I flew from my diet
Oh boy.
because Marley wasn't feeling well. She didn't want to eat keto because she's recovering post COVID shot. And
That's rough.
I ate Casey's pizza for dinner, taco pizza, but they were out of beef. They have no beef.
So
Casey says, no beef.
No beef for
No
you.
beef.
So you had a turkey taco pizza.
Oh, Italian sausage.
Oh, that wouldn't be anywhere close to taco.
Ooh, Danny says, Snarf diggity, I want to buy another shirt. Perfect.
Yeah, we got them.
I can hook you up.
You want a hoodie?
Dirk's here. Hey-o, Dirk.
I can't get anything to load on my computer. What did you do?
I don't know. So, a little bit of a quick sponsor shout out. I got a new hat this week.
I see it.
It's a different design from our newest sponsor,
Yeah.
Roar Seed Solutions. If you're looking for solutions for your seed,
Roar it up.
head on over to roarseedsolutions.com and see your finest brands ranging from Pro Harvest and other brands of corn, soybeans, small grains, forage crops, cover crops, all of it. It's all there. It's all there, ripe for the picking.
Can he
Jerry.
get me cereal rye?
He can get you so much cereal rye, you'll be chewing on it for a month.
Can he get me Kentucky bluegrass?
Absolutely.
Because it seems like all my grass that I planted died recently because of no water.
Yeah, you should water it.
Oh, that's so much work.
Anyway,
Do you water your grass?
No, I don't water my grass.
Yeah, exactly.
Roar Seed Solutions. You're going to hear us roar. That's their new catch line. I just made it up.
Yeah. So
It's not
Katy
roar,
Perry.
roar, though. It's roarer.
Roar.
Roar Seed Solutions.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anyway, Mr. Jerry,
Yes. That's me.
now that all that's all done, how's it going?
You know, it's going. We've had a week. It's been a bit of a week.
It's been a week.
But other than that, I mean, I think we're pretty solid.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty solid. I've got nothing to complain about.
You got no spring stretchers?
I don't. We have a new segment called Unpopular Opinions, Chris.
We're going to do that in a little bit.
We'll do it in a little bit, but I don't necessarily have spring stretchers, but I've got many unpopular opinions in my life that I just don't get. I don't get why people are on the other side,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay. I have one, but we're not going to do that yet.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Nothing exciting happening here, except I did get some beef, Jerry.
Oh, you did?
I got some beef brought for me to
you.
not to
Oh, no.
me, brought
To the locker.
to the locker.
Yeah.
So I had to give them my cut instructions.
Yeah.
To this day, it's always like the most nerve-wracking, anxiety-filled
What?
phone call.
Why?
I don't know. There's so many possibilities.
I get it.
Not nerve-wracking, I should say, but just like,
They walk you through the
what
steps,
am I going
man.
to do? What do I want to do?
I know. You can
So I
really
got-
screw up your meat.
I got a half a beef.
Okay. Oh, well,
From,
half.
We'll do a plug for Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
Lowry Farms. I'm not gonna lie, I've got a lot of beef from a lot of people, and it's all good, and I don't want to disparage anybody.
Yeah.
But that is by far the best beef I've ever had in my life.
Would you call it a cut above?
It is a cut above. Yeah.
It's very good beef. I've honestly never had Mike Lowry's because his direct competitor is his cousin Gary, who is my father-in-law, who also raises beef.
I've never had Gary's, so I can't compare the two of those.
I don't complain. I think it's good beef.
But anyway, so the big thing with this time is I wanted just to get more ground beef because I feel like we get all these roasts.
I love roast.
I like roast. Everybody likes roast. The problem with roasts are you never get around to the right time to make them.
Planning.
And then you got to plan ahead, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to pull out a 1 pound thing of ground beef. So, of course, I get all the steaks.
Oh, yeah.
And I get them
You better.
inch cut an inch thick.
Yeah, I like that.
Don't give me no 3/4
That's silly.
silliness.
Lesser than.
Usually
almost.
I get the organs. I opted out this time.
What do you get? Like what organs?
You know,
You get organs?
Yeah, they'll give you the liver, heart,
I always get the heart.
tongue.
I've gotten the tongue before, but I'm not a big tongue fan.
You know, I always get them,
I never get liver.
and I always
though.
have high. I like liver, I like heart, and I like tongue a lot. I actually grew up eating tongue. My grandma used to, of
course you did.
slice it and pan fry it like Spam. Delicious.
Really?
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. You know, I never use them. They just sit in the freezer.
I know.
And then I never get around to using them. And then they're always just left there. And then you don't know how old they are. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to be realistic. So I got my steaks. I kept 2 roasts, the sirloin tip roast.
Yeah,
And the
like
chuck roast.
Yep.
And the other roasts I just had ground. The lesser roasts.
Yeah. I don't think that's a problem.
No.
And
And I kept the ribs, of course.
I got the heart last year. I got the heart and I was like all about it. I want that beef heart. Give me that beef heart. Had this giant heart.
They're massive.
And it's so good. It's good if you do it
If you
correctly.
cook it
It's
right.
tough. It can be very
You
tough.
got to real slow cook it.
But if you cook it correctly, it's very, very good beef. It's very beefy. And I was so excited about it. I was going to plan a dinner around this giant beef heart. And then just today, literally just today, I opened the freezer and I was like, ooh, what's this? And I grabbed this giant hunk of meat and I look at it and I was like, oh, a beef heart from well over a year ago.
Yeah.
That now I'm not going to use.
You're not going to use it.
Once you leave it in the freezer,
I feel
over
the
a
same
year.
way about the stew meat. I always have.
I love the stew meat. I do
Okay.
love stew meat.
I always get it. We never cook it, and then it's always just there. So this time, I'm just like, you keep your stew meat.
So I just pulled
Keep your
out.
stew meat and stick it where the sun don't shine.
I just pulled out a bunch of stew meat today. I was pulling out pieces of beef today to thaw out to cook. I was like planning for like over the weekend and over like multiple days. And I got these big hunks of meat out to thaw out and cook. And I had multiple packages of stew meat that I feel like it will still be good. I think they'll still be good.
Yeah.
I don't want them freezer burnt. And I think I'm going to have a lot of stew meat in the future because I'm thawing it out right now.
So you know who was also a rather large cattle farmer?
Who?
Steel Farms.
Dirk?
Yeah. So Dirk, I'd be interested to hear your cut instructions from an expert because I am by no means an expert. I had some dairy cattle, dairy cows when I was a kid for 4-H.
Yep, you did.
We had goats, a llama, some various
Oh, you had a llama?
snails.
Okay. We're not going to get into the snails. Why did you have a llama?
Well, I've told the story about the llama before. We had a llama. It didn't last long.
I didn't. I
It
don't
died.
remember
It
this.
died of natural causes.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
Was it natural causes?
Yes.
Tell the truth.
It was natural causes.
Did you kill the llama?
No, the llama died. I don't know. We had a llama though.
It was just out in the pasture grazing.
Yeah.
It was
didn't
'cause
get
of the-
along with the goats.
It was the donkey.
The donkey also was a problem with the llama.
Really?
Yeah.
Beat the hell out of it,
Yeah.
didn't it? So you had llama donkey fights and never put any of it on the internet?
No, actually, and we called that show Goat Kicking Donkeys.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a donkey that kicked the goats to death. It was the llama.
It was? No, I thought it was the donkey that
I
kicked
can't
the goat.
remember now. It's been
No,
so long.
you told me the donkey kicked the goats.
Okay, I don't know.
And it was called
I can't remember.
Yeah, the goat kicking donkey, not the donkey kicking goats. Isn't that what you just said?
Steaks, roasts, and grind it is what Dirk said. Steaks, yes. Roasts. I mean, which roast? So you take all the roasts?
Yeah, no, which specific type of roast?
Sirloin, tip, and chuck I kept. What are the other ones? There's like a round roast, and there's a couple other ones.
You can get a prime rib, like a rib roast.
Lamageddon, Craig said. So we got to catch up with some of these comments.
Lamageddon, yeah.
Danny said we need eye trees, mature tree, 2 of them for a job, biggest one you can get. I got some big trees.
The government will buy them from you.
So here's what you need to do.
But how big, though?
Big.
Is like tree spade big?
We can go up to 4-inch. So it'd be a 20 foot tall maple. How big of a tree do you need?
Mature.
You don't want to go bigger than that.
I want a semi truck bringing
No, you don't.
huge tree
You don't want
onto
that.
the site.
Trust me. The bigger the tree, the harder they are to reestablish.
Not for me.
Yes, for you. So you spend a bunch of money, and you are at way higher risk of reestablishing that tree.
Oh.
But if you're intent on that, I can hook you up with some other people. But I would say the right size for that job would be 3.5. If you want to go 4, that's fine.
It's a baby tree.
I don't like to go bigger than 4-inch.
Those are baby trees. But either way,
It's a 20-foot tall maple.
I mean, I'm going to need 2 trees. I don't get to pick who the government buys them from, though.
Well, that's dumb.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Because everybody in Illinois buys trees from me.
I get it. That's fine. And I can suggest that, but it is on a contract above my head that somebody else dictates.
Okay. Anyway, you want to contact Marley Harford at iTrees.com
Oh, who's she?
by emailing info@iTrees.com.
Somebody you know?
That is my wife.
Oh.
My wife.
Okay, so this is an inside job. I get it.
Danny said, don't start this hot dog BS again. Let them do their thing.
No, we're not. I saw the comment of if the hot dog is a sandwich, and it's not. We've already covered that.
They're killing our 2 best trees. I've heard that. They are killing your 2 best trees.
Yep,
It's
we've talked about
ridiculous.
it. It is.
It's absolutely.
I don't get a choice. I don't get to dictate whether or not they cut the trees down. It has to happen because no matter what, when the construction happens, they will die. They will die.
Yeah. And, are these going in the area that everything's been run over and compacted?
Yep.
Oh, man, you're going to have a hard time getting these trees to establish even more of a reason for smaller trees.
Yeah, but that'll be years from now. That's been compacted. So, like, they're running over all the ground right now, but the job doesn't happen until 2023, and then they won't plant them till late 23. So, like 2 years from now.
Okay.
At least over 2 years from
Well,
now.
you want to plant your 4-inch tree. That's the biggest size I would go. And then you want to rototill.
The area around it?
Yeah.
Like rototill a huge area and then plant the tree?
In the middle, yeah.
Okay.
After the tree's planted.
Why didn't you tell me that on my own yard?
Because you don't need to. You don't have massive compaction issues there.
I think I did.
No.
That's why I got all that dye back.
Nah.
I got that, what's that one tree that turns real red?
Autumn blaze maple?
Yeah, that one. The top of it died off.
It's fine. Just prune it out. It'll be fine.
So can I trim the whole top of it?
Yep.
Marley told me don't cut the main stem that comes up out of the middle of the tree because it would look goofy. It'd be like almost like a V.
It'll be fine.
It better be. In
It'll
20 years, if that tree still looks goofy,
It won't.
I want a refund.
It won't. It'll be fine. Trim it back. Trim out anything dead.
Okay. I've done almost all of that.
Yeah. I mean, that main trunk, if there's still green or there's life in it, leave it alone.
No, there isn't.
Okay, trim it back. It's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and then cut back the other things to make it look more normal.
Gosh, it feels like a lot of cutting on a tree.
You can do a lot of cutting on trees.
And it won't affect them?
Listen, you're not going to plant Japanese maples.
No, I don't.
They're
want
like
them.
for landscaping.
Who said that?
Danny.
We don't want Japanese maples.
They're like, you put them up in the landscape. You want to put like a little landscape bed around your office, then you could put one of those in there. They're little.
Listen, Dan, you figure out a landscape plan and present it to me, and I'll look at it. and we'll figure out what we're going to plant.
Okay, because you also don't want a walnut or a shagbark hickory, because shagbark hickories are not well established this far north, and they're very hard to transplant.
What's wrong with walnut?
Walnuts, you got to start them a lot smaller. They're not a good to start at a large size.
Really?
Yeah,
I love
they
walnut.
don't transplant well.
I love walnut for their wood,
Okay,
but
I can get you better trees that look cooler than walnuts, but still have the same properties, like a Kentucky coffee tree.
really?
Yeah.
Do you actually get coffee?
Oh yeah.
Coffee beans?
No.
No?
No, but it grows bean pods, but some of them are seedless too. There's different kinds. There's an espresso coffee tree.
So it's
which is
dirty.
Seedless.
It's
No,
a dirty tree.
An espresso coffee tree is seedless.
I like that. Mm-hmm. But a Kentucky coffee tree will be dirty in fall,
No.
have pods falling all over.
No, they're not super dirty.
What's not super dirty in your world?
A regular coffee tree, only the males or the females, one of the two, produce pods
How can you tell the difference between a male and a female tree?
by whether or not they produce pods.
That's it?
Yeah, but you don't know until well after they're grown.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That seems like an
whether
issue.
they're male or female.
Wow. So you could have 1 year where you're like really rare on male trees, or it could be rare to have female trees.
Yeah, but most of ours now are the seedless, the espressos. So it's a non-issue.
Wait, so not every tree pollinates?
There's seedless trees.
No, I know, but I'm saying like between male and female, like the male would pollinate a female tree to create fruit, right?
Yeah. Not all are self-pollinating.
So a female tree of any variety is just going to die. It's not going to.
Like certain varieties of apple trees, you got to have two of them, right? One as a pollinator. And the
I
other
always heard that. Yeah.
but they're not male and female. I don't know how that works. I'm not the expert here
Oh, who is?
on male and female.
I didn't know
sex
that was a thing.
chromosomes on trees.
I really didn't know that was a thing between trees. That there was like a male and female. I thought they were a self-pollinating thing, like corn.
Yeah, most are. Black locust, Dirk said, we have a very, very popular tree is the black locust.
Those are the ones with the thorns.
No, that's wrong. The ones in the woods with the thorns is a honey locust.
Oh,
Honey locusts are also bred to be thornless and podless, but the ones that are wild out in the woods have thorns and pods.
huge thorns.
Yeah.
Cause terrible infection.
But no landscaping honey locusts have any pods or thorns. They're all seedless. They're all thornless.
When we first moved into the house,
They're
after
called
we-
the thornless cockspur. Or that's the hawthorn. Never mind. Thornless honey locust.
Yeah, you were wrong. When we first moved into the house, we removed a lot of those trees with the giant ass thorns, like that are 2 to 3 inches long,
Yeah.
and have a huge diameter to the base. Removed a bunch of them, but all of those thorns were still in the ground, like laying around. And we thought we cleaned up the majority of it, but you can't see a lot of those thorns. And Grant was climbing on a big dirt pile, rolling down the dirt pile, and he never told us he was stabbed by anything. He just told us he hurt his arm. And so Amy, for the longest time, thought he had a fracture, thought he fractured his arm. So we took him to the emergency room, and they gave him an x-ray. And they're like, he's got a giant puncture wound that sealed itself over. We're like, what? And so then they found it, and he did. He got stabbed by one of those thorns, and it caused a huge infection in his arm because they're incredibly dirty, and it was a puncture wound that nobody treated, and it just like closed over on the top. All we saw was this tiny little scab on his arm. So Amy, like I said, immediately thought he fractured his arm because of how it swelled up and was red. Nope, just a terrible infection from one of those thorns.
There you go.
It's awful. Get them off your property.
Take them out. I hate them. They're invasive.
I've also flattened a lot of tires from them.
For sure. Yeah.
They're huge. It's amazing. It's literally, oh, I ruined that. I'm sorry. They're literally like a pencil.
Yeah.
Like a pencil size, just stabbing into people and animals and just murdering everything.
And tires.
They're completely static, but, people run it. It's awful. Trees are the worst. That's all I got to say.
All right.
You need to cut down every tree you have.
Disagree. Agree to disagree.
Okay.
Is that one of your unpopular opinions? Or are we doing that next?
Should be. It should be an unpopular
Is
opinion.
this, are we trademarked against this? Because that is like a very famous podcast, Unpopular Opinions,
It is?
and YouTube show. Yeah, they have a theme song. It's like, they always have, it's like a celebrity, this guy, and it's always a celebrity, like a big celebrity.
But wait.
And it's called Unpopular Opinions, and they have a theme song that they always get the celebrity to sing, and it's something like, Unpopular Opinions. Tell us something that you would like to know, or something like that.
No. Why would we be... No. Why would we be trademarked against
Well, you came up with the idea, and you weren't even aware of it, so obviously we're good.
And it's a random segment of our show. We don't base our entire show off of that.
True. You want to get into it?
I've got plenty.
I got one, and you can start.
Okay. I feel like I know the one you have. Is it the one we discussed last weekend
I don't know.
at the birthday party?
I don't remember.
Is it about footwear?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
Because you saw my sheet.
No, I remember the conversation we had last Friday, and I don't want to bring up whatever your unpopular opinion is because I'm going to agree with it.
Okay.
I have multiple others. Have you ever heard of the candy Mambas?
No.
You've never had a Mamba?
Mamba. Let me look up the packaging.
It is like a gelatin, like maybe a pectin-based candy that is chewable.
Now that you say it, I've seen that. I've never had one.
Really?
No.
Well, what I was going to say is my unpopular opinion is that I prefer Mambas over
I've had those. I've had them.
Over Starburst.
I don't remember what they taste like.
They're like a direct competitor, and they've always been lesser.
They're a rectangular Starburst.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody always loves Starburst.
I've only had them at like Halloween or something like that.
People buy Starburst way more than they would ever buy Mambas. But I'll tell you right now, I will buy a Mamba every day before a Starburst.
Really?
If there were only two selections, I will grab a Mamba over them. It is a better flavor. It is such a better chew. It's softer. It's easier on the teeth. It's just a better chewing candy.
And they're vegan.
I didn't know that, but
Starburst aren't.
That's fine.
They contain gelatin.
Oh, yeah. You could tell that Mamba doesn't contain gelatin. It's soft. It's so much softer because you can like press them down with your hand. It's almost like a taffy, but a harder taffy, like a chewable taffy.
Yeah.
Chewier taffy.
Okay.
I guess. But the flavor, though, so much better. Anybody that says that they love Starburst, like, oh, give me the red and pink Starburst. Oh, those are my jams. We're going to buy whole bags of pink and red Starburst. That's a joke.
Dirk said they're like Now and Laters. But aren't Now and Laters like the little pills?
No, Now and Laters are squares, but they are so much harder.
Gosh, I don't remember Now and Laters either.
I know what he's talking about, and Now and Laters are good, but they are like very tart, almost sour, and they're a lot harder to chew.
Now
they're
that
very hard.
I do remember Now and Laters, they're very hard. They're brittle almost.
Yeah, my sister loved Now and Laters. I've always been a Mamba guy. They're softer to chew, just a better mouth feel.
Craig said Starburst minis are better than regular Starburst or Mambas. I've never even heard of those.
You know why they aren't? Because the flavor is not as good. Mambas have cornered the market on flavor for chewable taffies or pectin-based.
Okay. I've never had a Starburst mini or ever heard of them, but
oh yeah, I have.
According to Dirk,
Come on.
It saves on the unwrapping, so they must be unwrapped.
A lot of Mambas is a difficult unwrapping situation.
But the mini Starburst are already unwrapped.
They are.
In a
They're
bag.
loose. Yep.
And then Adam says, high chew? High chew all the way?
I don't know if I've ever had a high chew.
High chew candy. I've never heard of that. Let me check it up. Let me check it out.
Dirk, you haven't had a stale Mamba. It's not possible.
I've never seen a high chew before. I've never even seen that package. Where is this guy from? Adam, where are you from?
Dwight.
It must be a Dwight thing.
I guess maybe.
That's probably where the high chew factory is.
I've never had a high chew either, and I don't think I've ever heard of it. Dirk says maybe I've only had stale Mambas. No, you can't. The The only problem I have with Mambas is their wrapping situation. So you get a long rectangular package, right? It's about yay long, 6 inches, whatever. You open up the outside package, and then there's 3 separate packages inside of it that you also have to unwrap. You unwrap those, then the individual candy is also wrapped. Really annoying. A lot of unwrapping, a lot of things to do. But
actually, it's kind
every
of brilliant,
flavor-
though, because when you open a whole thing of Starburst, well, I guess they're all individually wrapped.
individually wrapped, but they're loose. You could have 3 packets of Mambas that you could disseminate to whoever you wanted. If you don't like a certain flavor, give it away to
I
somebody.
wish they were
in a whole
the
package.
thirds,
Yeah.
but then when you unwrapped that, they were all unwrapped.
Unwrapped. I know. I
'Cause
agree with
that's
that.
how many you're going to eat.
I agree with that as well. I eat the entire package in one sitting because you have to.
Wow.
You can't stop your body from doing it. And I love the yellow. I love the orange, and there's 2 different kinds of red.
I love the
Like a
yellow
pink.
Starburst. They're my favorite Starburst. Is that an unpopular opinion?
I think so.
I also like the banana. What are those? No, not nerds.
Nerds?
No. What's the little hard candies that are fruit shaped?
Oh shoot! I remember what you're talking about. I thought that was it's not nerds. It's oh goodness,
Runts.
runts. Yeah, I don't mind the banana runts.
Banana runts.
A lot of people hate them, but I don't mind the banana runts. I'm telling you, any
runts
flavor
are
of
trash. That's trash candy.
it is.
That's Willy Wonka.
I don't mind any flavor of Mamba really at all. I think they're all very, very delightful. I think they have done the best job at flavoring candy for what it needs to be flavored.
Okay. Craig said, preference for regular or sours? Inquiring minds want to know.
I hate anything sour. I'm sorry.
I love Sour Patch Kids. They're the best.
Nope.
I like sour. I'm going to go sour.
I am.
For most things, I like sour.
I will always go regular.
Have you ever had sour beer? Sour beers?
Oh yeah,
Love them.
they're fine.
I like them a lot.
A sour beer isn't the same as like a sour candy. though.
Absolutely not. I like sour candies too. I don't
No.
like nuclear warheads or anything like that, but
I'm not a big sour guy. I used to be. I'm not anymore.
I don't know. I mean, Sour Patch Kids are so good. And I found a company.
They're good when they're not sour. After you get rid of the sour, they're good.
They have non-sour Sour Patch Kids because
Okay,
we
well,
got some at the.
Those I
movie
would
the other
get.
day.
So those are just called what? Kids? Sweet kids?
I have this video of Cash when he's like 2 years old.
Candy
And he's
kids?
sitting in the car seat, and we're videoing him. I'll post it to our webpage because it's adorable.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there with a giant bag of Sour Patch Kids, and he's eating them, and he goes, "I don't like sour kids," but then he just keeps eating them. And every time he eats one, he's like, puckering his face. He's like, "I don't like sour kids," and
But he
he keeps
can't
eating them.
stop.
And then we say something like, "But you're still eating them." He goes, "I love sour kids." I don't know. I'm not doing it right, but it's great.
Yeah. Post it. Social media. Snarf Talk.
There's so many.
No, I've never been a sour guy. I won't be a sour guy. Distill sours. Distill has very good beers, Adam says. Adam says Distill sours. I agree. Like Distill has very good beers, but
Is that the one in Bloomington?
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
We're
a
going
whole
there for
restaurant.
something soon.
There's Mamba sours? I don't believe
Gonna
it.
have to try it. My unpopular opinion.
Okay. Yeah, that was just my first one, guys.
I don't care for flip flops.
You couldn't have said anything better right now.
I still will wear them occasionally.
I've worn them.
There's only one
times.
brand I will wear, and it's not to utilize the flip flop mentality. It's because the soles are so comfortable. I think they're called Sanooks,
Okay.
and they're amazingly comfortable.
You brought up the best argument I've ever heard in my life when it came to flip flops, because we were talking last Friday about this.
Oh, yeah, I was
Again,
gonna
you
bring
don't
that up.
remember, but
No, I do remember this.
you do remember that. Okay. So I also despise wearing any type of sandal. I'm
Yes,
talking
all
about sandals, flip flops, any of that stuff.
If you remember, I had a big issue a couple years back with the fact that everybody started using the word slides all of a sudden. Like it's
Yes.
a normal thing that
know.
I've never heard before in my life until
Because you slide your foot in it.
but nobody had ever said it. And then everybody started saying it overnight and pretending like they'd been saying it their whole lives.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing to me.
It's made up.
It was like
made up overnight.
It was like it was the Twilight Zone or something.
It was overnight. The pumpkin spice generation of women came up with the word slides, I guess. I don't know. But your argument with flip-flops was wonderful. You said they go flip, flop, flip, flop.
And they do.
And they do that. But why does one say flip and one say flop? Shouldn't they both either say flip, 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 or flop, 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 flop? They're the same shoe on a foot doing the same motion regardless of what you do.
The same distance from your ears.
Yeah, everything is the same. It's only the left and right that makes it a difference. So is it the curvature of the shoe that makes the flip and the flop?
I have no idea, but
Is the right the flip and the left the flop?
Here's my running theory on this. That maybe they don't make the sound flip-flop, but we're so programmed to think that there's doing the sound flip-flop that we can't unhear it. Have you ever heard, like, it's like one of those things with the Yanny, remember?
Yeah. Yes.
Or Laurel, Liesel, or whatever it is.
Yanny.
Once you hear the other one, you can't hear the old one again because it's like programmed into your brain.
Yeah.
So I think that's the flip-flop thing.
So you're saying we've been like, our minds have been warped.
That's not, Adam's wrong. He says up, step, flip, down, step, flop. That's not what it is. Both the flip and the flop is it hitting your foot after your foot picks up.
Yeah, you land your foot, you curl it down to the ball of your foot, and it will, as soon as you pick up, it slaps the bottom of your foot.
That's
right?
the sound. That's the only sound they make.
That's the only sound you're getting. It's not the connection with the ground or any of that. It is the connection with your foot after you pick it up.
Yeah.
Because it'll slap against your foot. And that is either the flip or the flop. Now, if you're a flop, that's fine. Maybe I'm a flip. But it has to only be one of those sounds.
And if you're one, and a guy brought this up to me that night. He said, "What if you're only have one leg? Say you got a peg leg on one, so you have one foot with a flip flop. Is it still making the flip flop sound, or is it flip 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 flip?"
It could be.
I don't know.
It could only be. Maybe it's only a flop, 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 flop.
We need to test it out.
I think we do.
All you need to do is keep a shoe on one foot and a flip flop on the other. We could test this.
Yeah, you're right. No, I really do think it's only one sound when you hear it from one.
Then why?
Device.
Why do you get it to two different? I don't know. Somebody smarter than us.
It's
will have
different
to-
resonances off of your feet.
I guess.
Maybe one. I mean, no foot is created equal, right?
Well, one side, it's the. I don't know, Jerry. It doesn't make sense.
I think it's the curvature of the shoe.
They're both the same.
No, they're not. They're opposite each other. Otherwise, they don't fit your feet.
I don't know about that.
If they were both the same, you'd wear two right shoes. And then they'd be shaped the same, and they might make the same sound. But when they're shaped opposite, you get a flip and a flop.
I guess that must be it.
But I agree. I hate those. I hate them. I
All
don't
right.
want to wear them. I want no part of it. Let's see. What's my next one? My next one is, man, this is going to go deep. I think a lot of people will hate me for this. I like coffee, okay? I do.
Love it.
Drink coffee every morning. I personally believe that Dunkin', Starbucks, or literally any other coffee brand is severely overrated and unnecessary to human consumption. I would much rather make coffee at home, put it in a cup, and take it to work than go pick up anything from any store because A, they'll charge you an arm and a leg. B, you put unnecessary things in the coffee that you don't actually need, and you probably wouldn't do it at home because it's not available to you. And C, it's just generally not that good of coffee. I don't think Dunkin' or Starbucks is good. I've had Dutch Brothers, I believe, once. I thought that was okay. Caribou coffee in an actual store is okay, but it's also those coffees I would buy for home and like brew them. But going to Dunkin' or Starbucks, I guess it's just against those two. I would say it's just against those two. Both of those coffees are terrible, and I think it's really unnecessary to go buy them at all. Because you can go to a gas station and get better coffee. You can go to McDonald's and get better coffee.
McDonald's coffee rocks. I'm going to tell you what. McDonald's coffee's really
It's good. That's good coffee.
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion. I also agree that both Dunkin's and Starbucks. So I used to hate Starbucks coffee. Like, literally hated it. I would go there when there was only one.
I won't get I don't get coffee at those places.
When there was only one
won't do
in
it.
this area was in Minooka. I'd go if I was going somewhere or I was in the area, I'd maybe grab it. And I don't know if I just wasn't a big coffee drinker back then as much, but it would give me like super jitters, like if it's like overly caffeinated.
Oh, really?
That doesn't happen to me anymore. So
No, I've never had that problem. I just generally think it's not good coffee.
No, I agree. I don't enjoy any of their coffee, and all of their coffee, like iced coffees, are not good.
Iced coffee to me in general is stupid. I can't drink it.
You know what I don't like about iced coffee? I love iced coffee, but you know what the problem with it is?
I just think iced coffee is so dumb. Go ahead.
I love it, but here's the problem with it. You get this big cup full of ice, very little coffee, and you drink it down with a straw in like 2 seconds, and the whole thing's gone. You're like, that was $4 or whatever that costs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. Here's the thing, though. Nobody likes a cup of coffee that has went cold and is sitting there. Like you've got a room temperature coffee, basically, and that you have brewed this morning, and you only drink half of it, and then you go take a sip of it, and it's cold. It's room temperature now, and you're like, oh.
No, but it's ice cold.
You're like, oh, that's terrible.
Ice cold's completely
So why don't you put ice in it and then just drink that old ass coffee and say like, man, what good? Oh my gosh, this is such good iced coffee now.
You can do that, yeah.
You can. Nobody does that. Everyone thinks it's gross because it's old coffee. I would agree. It is old coffee and that is gross, but that is what you're doing with iced coffee. You're taking good hot coffee and then making it cold.
Well, I enjoy iced coffee quite a bit.
Stupid. Iced coffee, stupid.
Danny said, Gerald Bartholomew Snyder, what the fuck, dude?
Dunkin'
Jocelyn
coffee.
would have had a heart attack if he heard that.
Joseph,
sorry.
Yeah, Joseph.
Jocelyn.
I don't know where you got
I don't know
that.
where I got that.
No, Dunkin' and Starbucks are just. It's not good coffee. I think it's terrible. I'd never buy it. You will never catch me buying it. I will say that I think Dunkin' is worse than Starbucks.
For sure it is. Dunkin' Donuts has the worst coffee, bar none, of
It
any
is
of the coffee places.
Not good. So we're solidifying the fact we are not going to be sponsored by Dunkin' or Starbucks.
I'll take the sponsorship of McDonald's, though. Their coffee's fantastic.
I tell you what.
It's real good.
I like that coffee.
Yeah. I also like...
They don't promote themselves as a coffee place, though. Gas stations don't promote themselves.
McCafe.
They have that as a sublet of the overarching brand.
I think that's a huge part of their business now.
McDonald's does not promote themselves as a coffee business.
I'm telling you, I think that's a huge part of their business now.
McDonald's promotes themselves as a fast food place with coffee.
I don't know, man.
And then you have Starbucks and Dunkin' that promote themselves as coffee places.
Donuts.
Starbucks does not do donuts.
No,
They promoted
Dunkin'
themselves.
Donuts is more about donuts than coffee.
They were more about donuts than coffee until they got rid of the donuts out of their label.
And
now it's just Dunkin' because what came for them, like what came to fruition, is that they sold more coffee than donuts. Because guess what? Their donuts suck too. They got terrible donuts. They're not good.
No, their donuts suck.
It's not good. Not good
Dirk
donuts. Not good
says
coffee.
the wife saying your Dunkin' opinion is very unpopular. Dunkin' Donuts is trash, man. You know what? I'll take this further. I don't mind Dunkin' coffee at home, like if you buy it in the store.
Like a Keurig thing.
Yeah, but
whatever.
Starbucks coffee, like brew coffee that you buy at the store, I don't like it.
It's not good.
It's not good.
I don't know. That's my unpopular opinion. I don't need to tell you how much more I hate it. I just feel like it is overhyped, overdone. People, I mean, see Starbucks stores going up all over the place. Everybody's been hyping.
Yeah, there's two in Morris now.
The new Starbucks store that went in Morris, and there is a line around that store all the time. So I understand a lot of people enjoy that place and like that coffee. I don't get it. I would stop at Circle K or BP for coffee before I'm going to go there.
Get some Ronco or Renoco.
Renoco.
Marley is obsessed with this drink at Starbucks called like the Dragon Juice. It's called like Dragon Juice or Dragon Drink.
Okay.
It's like a dragon fruit juice. I'm gonna look it up. Dragon Drink Starbucks. She's absolutely, it's a tropical inspired pick me up crafted with a refreshing combination of sweet mango and dragon fruit flavors. It's hand shaken with creamy coconut milk, ice, and a scoop of real diced dragon fruit. Contains caffeine. So she,
With real diced dragon meat?
dragon fruit.
Okay.
She was obsessed with this and just been touting it for like months. So we go there.
Where was it at?
It's from Starbucks.
Oh, okay.
So we go there and I'm like, okay, I got to try one of these.
Yeah.
So I got the most
get it.
obnoxiously pink drink you've ever seen in your life in a giant cup.
Yeah.
And we had to go somewhere with it. As soon as they hand it to me, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere with this thing. It's a giant pink drink.
Like bright pink?
Bright pink, like hot pink.
So I've witnessed her drink one of these,
Yes.
and I was driving alongside of her in Morris, and Amy and I drove alongside of her the entire length of the town, waving to her, honking the horn of our car,
She's too into that dragon drink.
and she was into it. She was into it. She eventually saw us only because Amy took a Snapchat of her and sent it to her, and then she saw the Snapchat and realized we were next to her.
Well,
Anyway.
I'll tell you what. I ordered one. It is the most disgusting thing I've ever drank. It's undrinkable. I don't know how she drinks it. It's so bad.
Is it? What don't you like about it? Like the flavor wise, is it bitter? Is it too sweet?
Bitter.
Is it like
It's bitter and weird.
conflicting flavors?
Yeah, it's not good. I don't know how to expound on it. It's just not good.
I like dragon fruit as a fruit.
Adam says I did love the bikini baristas in Washington. Dirk says best cut
don't-
on the dragon is the tail head.
I would agree.
What do you get? What do you put in your coffee? This will be an unpopular opinion, maybe.
Normally, I only drink it black.
This isn't unpopular. It's just a hot button issue, right? What people put in their
I drink every single morning. I drink black coffee, straight black coffee. That's all I do. If I'm feeling fancy, I may put sugar in it.
Yeah.
And I think sugar is great. If I'm feeling even fancier, I'll put sugar and French vanilla cream in it. That's rare, though.
Yeah.
It's rare that I'll put any cream. French vanilla. I only do the French vanilla. Other than that, I'm very basic. Like,
I put the same thing in no
When it
matter
comes-
what. Half and half, and 2 packets of stevia.
oh, no, I want it as bitter and hard as you can give it to me. I want you to punch me in the mouth with a sledgehammer in the morning with this just hard, harsh tasting, wretched black tar.
There you go.
You know, not heroin, not black tar heroin.
I got this coffee
Black
maker
tar
at
coffee.
home, which it kind of annoys me on one hand because the pods are so expensive that it's obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's the fancy one with George Clooney?
Yep, that one.
Nespresso.
Nespresso.
I got an espresso for my mom for a anniversary gift,
Mm-hmm.
and it is annoying because the pods are really expensive. But damn, does it make good coffee?
Really?
The pods are like $1 a piece, so a cup of coffee's a buck.
And I like a flavored coffee here and there.
No, and you can get anything. You can get regular coffee. You
Yeah.
can also they have smaller ones that are shots of espresso.
Okay.
You can get any flavor you want, but it makes like a foam at the top,
Oh yeah.
like a brown foam. It's not foam, but it has a name. Marley would yell at me for not knowing it.
It's a foam.
It's not foam. It's something.
Frappe.
Yeah, something like that. And anyway, it's
Froth.
Froth, sure.
Right? You have a frother.
No, but it's not that. This comes out of a machine that way.
Oh.
Anyway, it makes the smoothest, best tasting coffee. You can drink it black, and it tastes like it has cream in it. It's that good.
When do I get to try this?
Whenever you want, come to my house.
Oh, it's at your house?
Yeah.
I thought you said it was at your mom's.
No, it's at my house.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm coming over to try this because I want to try this
Craig
coffee.
said, "Do you put MCT oil in when you do keto?" And I do not.
I
because
have, yes.
I have done it. I don't generally because I do keto, but I also am trying to keep my calories low.
Yeah.
And there's lots of calories in MCT
So
oil.
I also used to. I'm so fat now. It's so bad. I used to intermittent fast in the morning, so I wouldn't put anything in my coffee in the morning. But for a while, I did put MCT oil in my coffee, and I tell you what,
It's good.
it's not only good, it gave me such a huge boost of energy
It also makes you not hungry ever.
to the point where I was like, I don't even know. I wasn't jittery. I was just like jacked.
Yeah, but it's a lot of calories, right?
It is. Yeah, it is.
I've also done butter. Butter is very good in coffee.
Well, they have bulletproof coffee where you'll put butter and MCT oil and like froth it up.
Yeah.
Mix it all together and have bulletproof coffee, which is a huge amount of calories right off the bat in the morning, but it's a lot of fat as well, which is good for the keto diet.
and you just don't eat lunch.
And then you don't really eat much, afterwards. If you do, it's very light.
All right, should we move on to the news?
Can I do one more?
Okay, but we can't get down another rabbit hole. We're already at 45 minutes.
But I got one more.
Okay.
One more unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I'm just kind of an unpopular person.
All right.
Okay? And you know why? Because I don't freaking like pools.
You don't like pools?
I don't want to be around a pool. I don't want to go swimming. I hate swimming around children. I like the fact that my kids have access to a pool and have fun. I don't want to be there.
Do you know why I'm laughing?
Why?
Because I don't understand how we can go through this. We don't disagree about anything. Like ever. I also hate pools.
You mean we don't agree about anything ever?
No, we agree on everything.
No, we don't.
All of our unpopular, we've only argued one, the socks.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
For the unpopular part. Well, I understand we might not argue this, but as a popular opinion, people love pools.
Yeah, I know, but I don't either. I don't like pools. I really don't care for swimming in pools.
No.
I don't like swimming around children because I'm always afraid they're going to drown.
Yes. All you're worried about is kids drowning. That's
Yeah.
all you're worried about. And then you can't get in there and have fun. Like, I can't get in there and just like casually drink beer while my kids are swimming around. No,
I can,
because they're all
and
half dead.
I can and I do, but I'm just not a pool person either. I'm not a pool person.
My anxiety level at a pool is way too high. I'm not having fun. I don't want to be there.
Nolan asked, do you like the beach? The answer to that is not really. I'm not a beach person either. I know I go to the beach a lot, but
I'm fine with the beach. I'm fine with being at the beach. I would rather go to a beach than a pool. If
Agreed,
somebody
yeah.
invited me to a pool party, I sit there and look at Amy like, I don't want that at all. Like
I don't want your life.
I don't want your pool. A lot of times I'd be like, I gotta mow.
Yeah.
I gotta mow today. I gotta mow right now. And I'll mow instead of going to a pool party. Now, if you invited me to a beach, I can walk around on the beach. You have to come out when the boats come up, if we aren't at the swim beach or whatever. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little more regulated and that's fine. And you're not stuck around a pool. I really hate pools. I don't want to have a pool. I feel like in my future, I'm going to have a pool. Amy grew up with one. She loves them. She wants everything about a pool. Man, I don't need them in my life. I loved them as kids. When I was a kid,
Oh,
and
yeah,
we went to
of
a
course.
pool, I had the time of my life.
Game on.
I had absolutely the time of my life, and I can't swim for shit.
I can swim pretty well. I'm a pretty aquatic person, but I'm not a big water person.
No, I'm not anymore.
I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't know what changed. I like the ocean. Craig was talking about the ocean. I like the ocean, but I like going to where it's like the docks with the fishing boats. You know what I mean? I'm not like a big beach ocean person.
The ocean can be terrifying when it comes to like sucking people in and drowning them, because that's what it does.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that, but
Oh, undertow. Man.
I'm just not a beach person either. But I
rip currents.
it's fine.
You don't get rip currents in a pool.
I have a boat, and I haven't even taken it out on the water in like 2 years.
You shouldn't. Leave it alone.
Well, the problem is, I have a friend with a boat, so why would I get my own boat out?
Kind of agree with you. I don't know why you would. That was my last unpopular opinion, is that pools are terrible. I want no parts of them. And if you have a pool, don't invite me to it.
So flip-flops suck. Mambos are the best. Mambas are the best. Pools suck. And Starbucks and any other chain, any coffee. Really, I've tried like the whole thing, like support your local coffee shop. But I go to them and they're also terrible.
I've went to one in the area I will not name. And every time I go there, I have to emergently go to the bathroom. To the point where it's not a case of I'll hang on until I get to a place. No, it's a case of I'm going to have to pull off to the side of the road and like rip my shirt off to use as toilet paper in order to like survive the day.
I'm not even going to ask which place it is because I'm pretty sure I know.
Yes. It's over the overpass. Right? Yeah. Directly over the overpass.
We don't have to.
That's all I'm going to say.
Turk says, not a water guy. Don't trust things I can't walk on.
Love it.
That's great.
I love that. Like, I love going out on boats and stuff. That's fine. You can walk in a boat, and boats are fun. But yeah, you can't walk in the water. You got to try to like keep your head up to survive.
I like water sports. I like skiing, kneeboarding.
It's not a sport. It's a pastime.
Whatever. Vic says, my pool is amazing. Well,
no, it isn't. For your kids. For your kids, I guarantee you it is amazing for your kids.
Yeah.
There is no reason why you need that pool in your life. It's just an incredible amount of work, first off, for someone.
Yeah, a pool guy.
Someone is taking care of that pool. It takes way too much time and effort in order to keep it not green. And then you send your kids out there. They pee in it. They have fun. That's great. But for me, I don't want to swim around in their pee water.
No.
You know? And no, keep your pools. What's your news?
I got some news. Here's number one.
We got the news.
The news. HBO Max. Any HBO Max fans in the crowd?
Oh, me.
Love HBO Max. If you guys have HBO Max, you're in luck because they have restructured their pricing.
I'm in luck?
Yes.
They've
restructured their pricing. If you don't have HBO Max, you now have the opportunity of a lifetime. They have split the service now into two different level options.
Two levels.
So the way it is right now, it's been
diamond and gold.
Right now, it's just been $14.99 a month. That's what it costs.
Yeah.
Right? Now they are offering $9.99 a month.
Ooh.
But that gives you ads, ad supported, and also no access to all these movies have been coming out like the Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, all of the
no access to
WB stuff,
premiere movies
or Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers movies, and at least not in the first however many days. So,
did they say you have to pay extra if you wanted them at that service?
You cannot. You have to.
Or you just don't even get it.
You don't get them at the $9.99 level, and you get ads. So, but. I get ads on my Hulu. Doesn't bother me that much.
I got rid of Hulu. Just can't handle it anymore.
There was something else I had that had ads. Oh, Paramount Plus.
I don't have that either.
You got Paramount Plus. I got to put that on my what am I watching?
So that's the thing. Like with Paramount Plus and with Hulu and stuff, if you get a TV service like YouTube TV, a lot of those shows you can watch on there.
For sure. The thing is, those are a little cheaper, right?
They're
$9.99 a month. So also, they give you the option of paying annually for $99 a year. So basically, you shave off 2 months. You get 2 months free if you pay annually. So that's great.
I thought you said $149 a year.
I'm getting there, Jerry.
Oh.
The regular, no ads, what we have now, no ads, premiere movies, $14.99 a month. They are now giving you an annual pay option for $149 a year. So you get 2 months free. So it's basically $30 less a year for HBO. So if you already have HBO Max, go on there and change your plan, save yourself $30 a year.
Did you do that?
I tried, and it gave me an error message, like it wouldn't complete, so I'll try again tomorrow. I tweeted from our shared Twitter handle to HBO Max complaining at them.
You did?
Yeah. I found that most companies respond via Twitter quicker than any other medium.
For real?
Yeah. If you tweet a company with an issue, they pretty much get back to you right away. I
That's
tweeted
interesting.
Casey's repeatedly about their shitty coffee cups, and they like private messaged me. They're like, "Send us the address, and we will replace their coffee cups with a new style that we have." I'm like, "Okie dokie."
Really? Have they done that?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, that seems really great if they would do that.
Adam says, "Wonder about those that get it free with AT&T." I have no idea about that, but it's free, so I guess it wouldn't apply to you, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, for people like me and you, this is great news because HBO has always been on that line. It's like almost too expensive to justify.
Yeah, HBO has always been the service, regardless of what platform you got it on. And years ago, when you just had to get HBO as the extra, like, premium service, they were always
so
$14, $15 a month. Always to get it extra. Even when you got it on DirecTV or Dish Network or whatever satellite service you had, when you subscribed to HBO, it was a significant amount of money that they charged you extra to have that. And then when streaming services came out, and I saw that it was $14.99 to have the HBO app when it was just HBO Now, HBO Go or HBO Now. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah, it was always $14.99. I was like, I can't justify paying $14.99 for HBO when I can pay $5 for Hulu. I don't get the same stuff, but I get a lot more stuff from Hulu than I am from HBO. Same with Stars. I mean, Stars was even less than
Yeah, it's like
HBO.
$9, right?
Showtime was less than HBO. Obviously, Netflix and Amazon, all of them, every streaming service.
Well, not Amazon. That's more expensive, but now it's like $17.99, right? Something like that.
I don't know. I thought when you got Amazon Prime,
I'm
just
sorry,
like
I meant Netflix. Didn't I say Netflix? Netflix is expensive.
depending on how many TVs you have it on.
Well, whatever the case.
Mine I thought was only like 11.
No, they've upped it. You've just not paid attention. You're paying like either 15 or 17. But
Really?
it's still the go-to. It's still the first one you
it's-
click in and look around in.
Yeah, it's still the one that has basically solidified its place in the streaming world. HBO's always been around. They just do not have the stuff that
They don't have enough
Netflix
content.
does. They're getting it.
They're getting
now,
there.
Now that it's HBO Max, and when HBO took over DC and all of that kind of stuff, when that happened, and they gained all these extra properties, and then they combined those apps together to where everything was under one umbrella, which was HBO Max. I like it a lot.
Yeah, but I still rarely go in there.
Yeah. I
You know,
agree.
I'm looking out for their big properties, and that's about it. But they have enough, spaced out enough that you're like, okay, there's always something on the horizon a couple months out there. You're like, well, there's no reason to cancel it because in a couple months, this is going to come out.
I know. So
And now with the movies, that's been a huge thing too.
wouldn't you think by this point, at this point in our lives, like in the world of streaming media, that HBO, because HBO's always been at the forefront of big shows that have come out
For sure, yeah.
you know, and they've always made a lot of money off of these shows and gained a lot of money because of what they charged and because of what they brought in from those TV shows. Why haven't they changed their platform to buy more stuff? Like, why aren't they buying more stuff, buying more movies, buying more independent shows?
They're so small compared to Netflix. It's not even close. They don't even have 60 million subscribers.
Even at this point, over the years and years and years,
They don't even have 60 million subscribers.
do you
total.
say that that's like, does that stem because they were so far into the satellite TV world
I believe so, yeah.
where they were
just
part
got
of a
left
subscription?
in the dust by
Yeah.
Netflix. Netflix has like
It makes
hundreds
sense.
and hundreds of millions of subscribers.
It makes sense when I think of it this way. Like, I'm literally talking about it and realizing why they're so small. And it's because they stayed with a subscription service through satellite, you know, and through like that type of TV rather than like remove itself from that and provide its own service to people outside of
Right.
regular cable TV.
They're smaller than Disney at this point, and Disney barely has any content really.
I was still in the world of thinking that HBO was so wealthy and powerful. You know what I mean? As like
I'm not
a
saying they're
company.
not doing very, very well. I'm just saying that
I'm
HBO
sure
Max is a new streaming service. It's the newest of all of them right now, pretty much.
the streaming service itself, yes, is newer, but HBO has been around for so
Yes, but that was a
long.
different model.
But you would think the company would still be big enough to support the fact that they could
I'm sure
do.
the company's plenty big. They're owned by Warner Brothers, so
So why can't they do new things on like going to Sundance or all the film festivals or different things and start buying,
because they
films
know what
and
makes
TV
money,
shows?
and that don't make money. Netflix throws a lot of good money probably down the drain on a lot of that crap.
But that's also what built them.
Maybe. I don't know. I think HBO is more focused on big franchise IP.
Netflix wasn't built off of its own stuff, I don't think.
No, it's definitely been a model of let's buy what's out there in the ether. Let's just gobble it up
Yeah.
and put it out under our own label. That's what they're producing a lot more stuff now,
Absolutely, and they've done well. But
but they're lagging really behind. Honestly, I mean Disney's the only one, in my opinion, that's putting out big time things with all their Marvel and Star Wars
Disney
stuff.
has caught up so much to Netflix in the last year when it comes to subscribers.
Well, the other thing is Disney seems like a great deal for $14.99 a month. You get Disney, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
You get that whole bundle, and everybody's like, "Okay, that makes sense." And I
It
never
does.
even turned on HBO Plus, or ESPN Plus. I mean,
I don't need
did
to.
I say
yeah.
HBO? I meant ESPN Plus. And the new one I got now is I changed my Verizon phone plan, and I got a free year of Discovery Plus from Verizon.
Oh, you did?
So I'm checking that out now. It's not for me. That's
I had Discovery Plus for a while. I
Marley
paid for
likes
it.
all the reality shows.
I do too. I had it. I talked about it on the show last year. I was watching Deadliest Catch, Gold Rush,
Without the crabs?
all of that stuff.
Without the crabs?
No, it had crabs.
Almost out of gas. Call the. Never mind.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Deadliest catch without the crabs. We're almost out of gas. Called it. Never mind.
What is that from?
It's from Step Brothers. Nachos, lemon heads.
My dad's boat. Yeah, I didn't know it was part of that song. You didn't have the same rhythm.
Okay.
Man,
Let's move
Come
on.
on, man.
Star Wars. Spider-Man No Way Home has released a gigantic new trailer, Jerry.
Holy smokes, did they?
If you haven't seen it, I recommend checking it out. Oh, we got some comments. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not. HBO seems to focus on shows that win awards. They just win more Emmys than anyone else.
I would agree they have more groundbreaking, like dramatic shows that people talk about.
But that's not.
And they've always been that way.
I don't think that's the direction they're moving for now. Now they want the IP, right? So that's why they're doing big DC projects now and all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
And the premiere movies, I think, is going to be huge for them. I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people signed up to see the Suicide Squad. A lot of people signed up to see. What else did they put? They had another movie earlier this summer, Kong,
Yeah.
and there's
Godzilla
there's been
versus Kong.
and then there's been.
Don't leave out Godzilla, please. Thank you.
Well, I mentioned the one that mattered, and then
the
they
guy
got,
who lost.
and then they got
Spoilers.
Dune coming up. Which I will not watch on HBO.
No,
I will.
we will
100%.
We will be at the
Premiere.
at the premiere
Yes.
at midnight. I don't care if it's at midnight or what we have to do. We will be at the premiere in October for Dune, and that's it. Like,
If we can, everything in the state today got shut down. So basically, because our governor's terrible. Anyway, Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Watched it. I need to watch it more times to gather all of the things.
yeah, so I watched there's a YouTube channel called Emergency Awesome, and they do a lot of the hidden like Easter egg things, and he went over the trailer for 17 minutes about what was in it and why it was there and what it could mean and all these kind of things. That is way too in depth, by the way.
It's going to
But
be a wild ride.
it is going to be a wild ride in that movie because
It was hard for me to focus on the trailer because I was so confused about how
the
Doctor
snow?
Strange could screw up so badly. It just didn't seem on brand for.
he didn't. He didn't screw up. The fact is that Doctor Strange at this point is what and this is what I learned from the Emergency Awesome YouTube channel. They said Doctor Strange at this point is at his most powerful.
Okay.
He's becoming the most powerful Doctor Strange. He is like the guy, right? And he's trying to create this spell for Spider-Man, for
Which
Tom
seems
Holland.
so reckless, though.
He's
He's even told that it's reckless, and he does it anyway.
He is, but he knew he could do it. The only reason it failed is because Spider-Man comes in and starts changing his idea of what he wanted while he's trying to create the spell. And Doctor Strange says, nope, don't do that. Stop that. Like, hang on. Because it's created off of what you want. And then when you start changing your mind, it's changing the spell while he's creating it. And he's got to try to adapt for that. And he couldn't do it. He can't keep up with your mind. And your mind is running so fast, or his mind was running so fast, that it threw the spell out of whack. And then all of a sudden goes haywire, and he's trying to like rein it all in.
I just don't believe that he would have agreed to do it in the first place. It makes no sense. It doesn't seem on brand for the character.
I think he was getting a little cocky.
He seemed that way, yeah. Anyway, it was great to see them together. I think it's going to be an amazing movie. Obviously, a well de-aged Alfred Molina comes out as Doc Ock, and then you get the laugh from
Green Goblin.
Willem Dafoe
Yeah.
as a Green Goblin. So that's going to be super cool to see. It's hard for me at this point to believe they're not going to bring in Tobey Maguire. They haven't announced it.
They're doing the Sinister Six, right?
Well, they haven't said that. What it
looks
appears to
pretty
me
good.
is they're ripping open all the multiverse.
Yeah.
And these other characters, which didn't exist in this Peter Parker's universe yet, but existed in other Peter Parker universes, are now crossing over or crossing into this universe. Makes it really hard to believe for me that you're not going to get a Miles Morales, you're not going to get a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, you're not going to get. I mean, we've seen it done in Into the Spider-Verse. I don't see why they wouldn't do that in this.
I've always said, do not believe trailers.
No, I know.
You know, trailers
And they
are
can only
there.
do so much in a 2-hour movie, too. You got to remember that.
Yeah, but the trailers are there to spark the conversation of what the movie's going to be, what it could be, or what you think is going to happen, and they lie to you every chance they get. I mean, even in the Endgame trailer, they lied to you. Like, the trailer showed Captain America holding Thanos' hand with no stones on there. There was like 2 stones. In the actual movie, all of them were on the gauntlet, and there was no way Captain America was going to beat that, you know? But in the trailer, it gave you hope to think like, holy crap, Captain America's like holding his hand up and going to beat Thanos at that moment. And it drew the whole conversation of what could happen. And I think they're doing the same thing with this. And at the moment when you see Spider-Man in the Iron Spider suit on the bridge, like he wraps it all around him, I think it's a different moment. Like, it could be a different Spider-Man.
I think it's a different Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know. I'm intrigued. They didn't give you a ton in the trailer, to be honest, but I'm intrigued with what they did give us, and I don't want to say skeptical, surprised a little bit, maybe by the tone.
The whole premise of the
It
movie
seems really dark.
It does, and which I think it's going to be because this is directly before and leading into the Multiverse of Madness. So, like, Spider-Man, this movie happens, and then it'll lead into the Multiverse of Madness of Doctor Strange because it opens up a whole new world of like chaos and shit. You know,
and this is the overarching enemy for the rest of the Marvel franchise. I thought it was interesting that he starts changing his mind midstream because he's like, oh, wait, I don't want all these people to not know that I'm Spider-Man. But he could easily just go back and tell those people again.
Well, right, you can, but I don't know. Think about it in your life right now. Like, you don't want people to like forget about you all of a sudden and then have to go back and tell them.
None of these thoughts crossed his mind before he enlisted Doctor Strange to do this. I'm like, you mean changing the entire history and fabric of the known universe isn't going to have massive ramifications. What are you,
He's
crazy?
a kid. He's still a kid, though. That's the idea. It's this kid on a whim.
That's my problem with Doctor Strange agreeing
to it. Yeah. No, I understand that.
And there's been some speculation that maybe that's not the real Doctor Strange.
Yeah, they've talked about Mephisto being involved. So they've never said that that's going to be the case, but it could be.
And the internet's all abuzz about Doctor Strange's sweatpants.
Yeah, his cold suit, like his sweatsuit that he's got on because of the snow. There's a lot of things in this trailer that you could speculate about. But I don't know. The whole premise of the movie to begin with, I think, is the idea that Peter Parker wants the world to forget that he is Spider-Man, and he wants to like reverse the fact that he's known as an enemy.
He wants to go home, but there's no way home.
There's no way home at this point.
Yeah.
You know, that's I
His
think
life
that's
has
the
been
idea.
ripped asunder.
Yes. Yes. By what's the
J. Jonah Jameson.
that guy?
Love him. He's back.
Horrible human being.
You got any news?
Yeah, hang on. Let me pull it up here. So apparently, you know the comic book that I loved, The Old Guard.
Yes. Terrible movie.
They had a movie come out, and it was awful. Didn't like it.
Legitimately bad.
It kind of kept to the comic book in a way, and I thought it did that part fine, but the movie itself was very boring, and like every part of it was unnecessary.
Real quick, Nolan says, in the comics, Mephisto does cast a similar spell.
Yeah, that is true.
Interesting. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, apparently they get a sequel. They get a second movie, and they announced the director of the second movie, and they are going to come out with The Old Guard 2. And I just don't think anybody needs it. And
Is
I don't
Charlize Theron in it?
Oh, yeah. She's the main character, Andy. I don't know why they're doing this, because that movie could not have done well.
I think it did very well.
Did it?
Very well. And it was well regarded, too. It was just
From
us.
who?
It was just us that didn't like it, apparently. I think it did pretty well.
Nobody that read the comic could have enjoyed this movie.
Well, nobody read the comic, Jerry.
I did.
Yeah, but
And it was so good.
100,000 people read that comic, and 100 million people watched that movie.
Well, 900,000 people are wrong.
It did have great action sequences.
The action's good.
81% on Rotten Tomatoes
Really?
with a 71% audience score. Both pretty good scores.
Wow. Yeah. I guess that does solidify the fact that you could make a second one. Because there's plenty of story there. There's plenty of story to pull from.
Honestly, it could have been amazing. It just, the script was boring.
It wasn't. And the writer of the comic book was directly involved. And I don't understand how he let this go through, because I don't feel like it was a good representation of the story that he put forth.
You don't know what anything's going to be until you see it. You can't look at a script on a page and know what it's going to be.
That's why at this point in the whole comic book movie world that we're in, that I'm always very judgmental of what's coming out prior to it coming out. I don't feel like it's going to be a good representation. I don't feel like it's going to be a good movie. And it scares me every time I see one. Like Dune coming out, I am so excited for. I am trying to bring my expectation.
And also scared.
I'm trying to bring my expectation down for this movie so that I'm not let down, because the book was amazing. I don't want to go into it thinking it's going to be the book and it not being.
Well, there's another amazing comic book that we both love that dropped a trailer.
What's that?
Why the Last Man?
A while ago. Yeah, didn't we talk about that?
We haven't talked about the trailer, though.
Oh, I thought we did.
We talked about the release date. Have you seen the trailer?
I did see the trailer, yes.
I kind of don't really remember at this point. It's been a couple weeks since I've seen it. But it looked pretty... I mean...
on par with what it needed to be.
I don't know if the humor's necessarily there.
Well, not with the trailer, it wasn't.
With the trailer, it seemed kind of on the grittier side of things, which the book, it really isn't. It deals with really gritty subject matter, but in a way that's almost like whitewashed over.
That's hard to portray in a trailer to get.
Sweet Tooth did it.
But nobody knew what Sweet Tooth was.
I know, I'm just saying that Sweet Tooth was successful in the style. Like, in my opinion, Why the Last Man should be just like that style-wise. It's not going to be.
No, it's not.
which I'm not necessarily against. I'll give it a shot. It's been long enough since I've read Why the Last Man all the way through that like it's not going. It's long enough for me that I can consider it a different thing.
So
I'd be fine with that.
I do think Why the Last Man's subject matter in the comic book was still very heavy. It's just that
It was heavy, yeah, for sure. But the way it was drawn was
Yorick, the character of Yorick, like the last man, he brought light to the subject during, the process of everyone dying and like his travels through the world at that point. He's the one who brought the light to that,
Well,
and the humor to it,
and the art.
and the art, yeah. But as you continue through the story, there's still some very heavy things that happen to him that are not funny.
No.
And I think the trailer did a pretty good job of depicting what the story was about and showing everyone, like the big to-do of all the men dying and women being left and who was left and what was going on. I think it did a good job depicting all of that. I think you have to watch the show in order to pick up the humor aspect of it or the lightheartedness of Yorick Brown, because that's just that character.
Right.
Hopefully the character does do that in that show, because if he doesn't, it's lost.
I don't know that I was sold on that casting after watching that trailer, but we'll give it a shot. I'm not by any means running for the hills.
No, I'm definitely gonna watch
And
it.
I believe it was just a teaser trailer too.
Yes.
It wasn't even like a full length trailer.
I loved the scene of his sister, because she was a paramedic, right?
Yeah.
I liked the scene of her being in the street because I remember that perfectly in the first issue.
Yeah, there was some imagery from the books that got brought over. It's darker.
Well, yeah,
But
yes, it is.
I don't know how you make that story. There was a certain innocence about the art style in that book that gave it a tone.
It alleviated the situation with the lightness of
And I don't know how you do that in a show.
I think they can do it. I think they can.
Sweet Tooth did, but
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to do that. They don't look like they're going to do that. They look like they're going to be a little bit more heavy-handed on it, and that's fine. It just is what it is. We got to move swiftly. So
Shazam, Fury of the Gods, second movie, the sequel to the first one,
Yep.
is almost done with filming. It's
Okay.
almost done. It's right there. So we're going to get that movie very soon. I honestly forgot that this movie was even happening.
I wasn't a huge fan of the first one.
I thought it was good.
It was fine.
For the time that it came out, I thought it was very good for DC.
I
remember everybody talked about it like DC did a good job.
I think I was happy with it. I really enjoyed the casting and the level of humor they brought. There was a lot of plot holes, in my opinion, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully they wrap that stuff up.
Like how they made Billy and Shazam, he still had the mind of a child when he got...
Yeah, when they're supposed to be two separate beings,
Right,
basically.
didn't make any sense.
Like Billy doesn't exist when it's Shazam.
Right.
And Shazam doesn't exist when it's Billy. So, yeah, I agree. That was a big issue with the first movie, and I don't think it'll be any different in the second movie. You can't change that going from the first to second. It
absolutely
wouldn't
not.
work well.
That's fine. They wanted to do something different, and it's a character that honestly nobody really cared about
No.
that much. I know he's big in DC Comics world.
Yeah.
But that's such a small
It
universe
is.
that
I'm still for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the
I'll
second
see it
movie
for
for sure. I thought it was cool. Like, again, I have never paid attention to anything that was happening with the second movie. I just happened to see an article today that said principal photography and filming is basically wrapped. I mean, they have very little to do.
so it'll be a year.
Probably end of next year. I bet you it'll be out. Yep.
Okay.
That's all. That's all I got for
That's all you got?
the news.
Shazam, by the way, I got a Rotten Tomatoes score of
I thought it scored pretty well.
90%.
Yeah, I thought it was very
82
good.
audience score. Very, very well. I enjoyed it. I thought they had the right level of comedy. It was downright scary for kids.
Yeah,
we
the end.
went to that with all our kids. Me
We
and you.
did, yeah.
And they were terrified.
Yeah, they did not enjoy the ending of it at all.
I have one little piece of news real quick. I thought it's interesting. Tic Tac, the company that makes Tic Tacs,
Tic Tacs, yeah.
sent a big Tic Tac full of Tic Tacs into outer space.
Why?
Good question.
We've got enough space garbage. We don't have to worry about Tic Tacs coming down and falling through our heads.
They did it to raise a okay. So you know how there's the Tic Tac video
Of the UFO.
UFO. To raise awareness of the mysterious object and garner mad social media points, the literal Tic Tac company has sent a jumbo Tic Tac full of Tic Tacs into space. So they did it literally, it basically as a gag.
Who carried that into space for them? Who did they pay to shoot it into space? I don't get this. It had to be Elon Musk. Had to be.
They wanted to make connections with extraterrestrials and send them a refreshing message.
I can't handle it.
Until one of the aliens eats a Tic Tac and then dies of some kind of poisoning, and then they start an intergalactic war.
I know. Did they ever think of that? No.
How the aerospace company Sent Into Space is the name of the company. Sent Into Space. Sent the vessel into space.
Is this
Team
like
hooked
home?
onto a stratospheric balloon that let it float up into the firmament. The space flight only lasted 3 hours in total, but that was more than enough time to emit some minty messages into space. Okay, well, this is
so it came
becoming a
back
little
down.
more reasonable.
It came back down.
Okay, so they put it up on a weather balloon and it came back down.
Okay, that's dumb.
Okay, that's cool, actually.
No, it isn't.
At least they didn't leave it up there, right?
I thought
it's
they
not
did.
in orbit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Isn't it terrifying to think that you can ride a balloon so far up into the air that you won't come back down?
Didn't somebody do that?
I think somebody did do that, but
People have done that with balloons, I think.
that is terrifying to me.
Oh,
that you
man.
can go up so high, like it's so thin.
I think this is still in the atmosphere, technically. It's just way up there.
But what if you get so far up there that you just don't fall back down?
You have to have thrust to get out of the atmosphere. Otherwise, you
you
always
do
have
no matter
gravity.
what?
Yeah, you got to have thrust to counter the gravity and get you into orbit.
Even if you get up into that so thin of air?
Yeah, you still got gravity pulling you down, man.
Oh, okay.
You got to have thrust to escape the gravity of the Earth.
Okay, that makes me feel better because I felt like if I ever sat on a balloon too long, I might just continue out into space and
Wasn't
boil
there a
and die.
documentary about a guy that sat in a lawn chair with balloons and
Yeah.
went up like way up
with a BB gun
with a BB gun?
and shot balloons until he came back down to
What a
Earth?
fucking psycho.
An idiot. Like, that's unbelievable.
All right, let's move into what we're watching. Once again, we're not going to have time to do our awesome lists.
Why? We got plenty of time.
Because I got a bunch of what we're watching. All right, I'll have to pare it down. Real quick,
Yeah.
Paramount Plus. I have it.
Okay, I
Forgot
know.
I had it. Have it.
Yeah.
I only know this because my kids were rabid about wanting to see a certain movie that released. Kurt says that's the movie Up.
It's close.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I'm sorry. Nolan said, easy way to lighten up Why the Last Man. Add Tim Allen and have him tell some jokes. Rename it Why the Last Man Standing. I love Tim Allen. He was recently in the news. He was giving some political opinions that I thought sounded really reasonable. I like the guy. Paramount Plus. There's a movie, if you have little kids, you're going to get bombarded into seeing. It's called Paw Patrol, the movie.
Oh, yeah. It's out in theaters. Yeah.
It's out in theaters, but it's also on Paramount Plus Direct.
Okay. It can't be much different than the TV show.
It's not that bad. I
Really?
was really surprised.
You watched the Paw Patrol movie?
I mean, my kids have watched it 300 times already, Jet mostly.
Yeah.
So I've caught enough bits and pieces that I can pretty much string the whole movie together.
Okay.
First of all, the animation is like, it's like real. It's like real animation rather than the cartoon, which is, cartoonish.
Yeah.
It's like computer animation. So
Okay.
it's a lot better. And
A little more fluid.
it's not a bad movie for a little kid's movie.
I've never disliked Paw Patrol.
It's one of the more bearable kids movies that has no there's no reason, like most like Disney movies, like there's a reason they always throw in jokes for adults. And
Yeah.
there's a reason why adults would want to see them. There is no reason for an adult to watch the Paw Patrol movie unless it's like,
I don't know. Is Chicoletta in it?
I don't know who that is.
Chicoletta?
No.
The mayor's chicken that she carries around?
I don't know as much about Paw Patrol as you, apparently.
Gosh. Apparently not.
All right, so we'll move on from that. But if you have little kids and you're forced to watch that movie, it's not terrible.
Okay.
I'll do it real quick. I finished Schmigadoon.
Oh, you did? I did not.
I
haven't
watched all 6 episodes. There's
No.
only 6.
No, I haven't.
All right, we'll
I stopped at 4. But
We'll hold off on that.
no, continue. I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
It's a nice, fun, heartwarming little story.
Did they wrap it?
They did. They wrapped it up.
Okay.
There's no need for another one.
That's all I was looking for, is that they get a little bit of closure to this story. Because what I felt the whole time watching this was like, this is going to be never ending.
No, they wrapped it up. It's only 6 episodes, half-hour episodes. It was short. I actually enjoyed the show. I can't recommend it because it's not that good.
Yeah.
It's not something that there's a lot of people that just wouldn't be into it, and that's fine. It was fine. I liked it. Put a smile on my face from time. I like Keegan-Michael Key a lot.
Oh, gosh, he's good.
He's great and everything. It has a heartwarming ending.
Okay, that's good.
but-
I was hoping for that.
Yeah.
And I will finish it. For just 2 episodes, it'll be easy for me to finish.
It's not worth spending a lot of time talking about it. If it's something, if you like a fresh comedy that's a little different and you like musicals,
man.
you'll enjoy it. If you like Keegan-Michael Key, you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
I don't know how many to do here. Okay, I'm just going to keep going.
Just go.
The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf, dropped. It's an animated Witcher movie on Netflix. Did you watch it yet?
No.
Okay. Well, then we'll wait to talk about it.
What's your overall opinion?
I enjoyed it. I'm not all the way done with it yet. I watched about 3/4 of it last night and then fell asleep towards the end, just because it was late, not because I wasn't interested.
Sure.
It is more of an anime style. They call it Netflix anime, but it's not really anime. It's just it's similar to the style of like the DC animated movies.
Oh, okay.
It's a little more animated than that, maybe. It's violent. It's definitely rated R. But it's very much a similar in its structuring and storytelling as the TV show The Witcher. It's not as good, but I did enjoy it, and I think you'll enjoy it as well. If you like The Witcher, I would think it's an obvious watch.
I like me some Witcher.
Yeah, and it's earlier in history when like the Witchers were bigger. They're like a kind of a bigger organization. The big Walking Dead came back, season 11, the first episode, season 11.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because you're not a fan, but I'm going to tell you what. This was like the most cinematic episode of The Walking Dead I've ever seen.
What?
It was like a freaking creepy horror movie almost. It was crazy. I really enjoyed it.
You don't like horror movies.
I really, really, really liked it. I'm excited about this season.
For season 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
It had an awesome...
It's the last one. It's the last one you get. You will never get any more.
22 episodes broken into 2 seasons.
Holy crap. There's going to be a season 12?
No, they always do fall and spring.
Two parts.
2-part seasons, yeah. I loved the first episode. I'm on board all the way. Really great classic Walking Dead cliffhanger ending.
Okay.
Real intense, like creepiness in this episode. Kurt says Walking Dead is great, Jerry. Did you watch the first episode, season 11, Kurt? Because it's pretty good.
It was great. And I do understand that a lot of people enjoy this show and love it. And I'm sure that the most recent seasons were good. I just lost so much interest when it was the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It just got boring.
Well, it's not now. It's pretty different now.
Can I skip season 5 through 8?
Through 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because season 9 jumps 10 years into the future.
Perfect.
You definitely can skip that.
So I can just start at 9.
9, well, half of it, or the first 10 episodes or so, are in the past, and then they make the jump. So actually, that'd be a perfect place to start.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I'll leave the new Marvel show because I'm sure you're going to want to talk about that too.
Yeah.
I want to talk about my last one, the big one that I saw. I went to the movie theater
Oh, you did. Oh my
And,
gosh. This has caused an uproar in my family.
Yeah, we went to the movie theater, just me and Cash. He really wanted to see this movie that I wasn't super thrilled about, to be honest with you. I mean, I wanted to go to the movies, and I wanted to go to the movies with Cash.
Okay.
And this is certainly not a movie that I'd be like, no, come on, I don't want to see that. We went and saw Free Guy
Yeah.
with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I just didn't have high hopes. I thought it'll be fine. It'll be fun to go to the movies, but I didn't have high hopes.
The trailer and seeing so much about it I mean, we've seen about this movie for like the last year and a half.
Yeah, a couple of years. Yeah,
It's been they've been talking about this for a long time. I don't know if it was in production that long. I just think it was held up from COVID. But I was not impressed by the trailer. I thought it looked really goofy, really dumb. It did not spark anything in my brain to say, you need to go see this movie.
So my reaction, it was fantastic.
Wow.
This
Really?
This movie, it was really, really good. It was a great,
It was fantastic.
fun time at the movies.
Fantastic.
Engaging the whole time. Very funny.
Okay.
Great action. It's got a 94% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way.
I tell you what, everything Ryan Reynolds touches in the last 6 years, 7 years, has been gold.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you what.
Especially for fans.
I was really blown away by how good this movie was. Not only was it a super fun, engaging action movie, it had a ton of heart, has a great, heartfelt story and message that can resonate with anybody, kids, adults. Now, I was really worried because I just didn't know how appropriate it was going to be for especially
Sure.
an 8-year-old.
It's PG-13.
It's PG-13. The action and the violence, which there is a lot of violence, but it's very, very cartoon violent. It's basically like Fortnite type violence. There's no blood. Yeah, except for RIPD. That was a while ago.
Yeah, that is a while ago. You're right.
The
Yeah, that
violence
was
is very. If your kids play Fortnite, it's totally fine. The language.
right. Oh, so it is very similar to that.
yeah, there's no blood. It's just it's video game violence.
Okay.
Over the top video game violence at that. There's some language. They drop an F-bomb.
Yeah.
They drop some stuff like that. That's fine. I was more worried about like sexual innuendo and
Right.
stuff like that.
Right.
And there's a couple things, but they're veiled enough that it's going to go over a kid's head. But anyway, it reminded me like a way better version of Ready Player One,
Yeah.
but with like a lot more humor. That was actually pretty funny. I laughed out loud many times in this movie in the theater.
Really?
And on top of that, a really, really nice message and a really heartwarming story that was fantastic. And there's two parts of it. There's the things that happen in the video game world and the things that happen in the real world. Because, Ryan Reynolds is a video game character.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know it, and he's just discovering that. And there's real heartwarming stories in both of those worlds, and those worlds are constantly crossing over. Taika Waititi plays the bad guy.
He does?
He's like it's basically Fortnite. The game is Fortnite, basically. And he plays the video game developer.
Yeah.
That's like in charge of that world. And it is it's just an over-the-top, very humorous, evil CEO type character.
Yeah.
He plays it so ridiculously. I've seen a lot of people that have been like, he was terrible. It didn't make any sense. I loved the shit out of his character in this. He did it. Great job. He's ridiculous, over the top, but I found him really funny. I love Taika Waititi, and I thought he was really good in this. Ryan Reynolds is freaking fantastic. All the other actors in it, fantastic. There is a moment at the end, not at the end, but like towards the climax, where they somehow got, I don't even want to spoil it, so I'm not going to. They somehow got some massive IP that they were able to steal to use in this movie.
Really?
That as soon as it happens, you're like, both times that it happens, you're like, what? Go see this movie in theaters.
I'll tell you right now, what has happened over the last week is that you told me about it. You sent me a text message, and this is
Right
like
as I was walking out of the theater.
this is a spoiler for behind the scenes of Snarf Talk, basically of our lives. But Chris and I do not speak about TV shows normally or movies or anything. We don't tell each other about what we've seen, and we do that on purpose so that we can have the genuine conversation for you, the viewer, and like for us to get genuine reactions of what we've seen and what we think of the shows we watch. And Chris sends me a text message and he says, "We don't normally do this. I don't normally tell you about shows I've seen." He said, "But you absolutely have to go see Free Guy. It is one of the best things I've seen in a long time. I loved it."
It was the best movie I've seen this year. Definitely.
You told me that, and I read it, and I was like, this has to be a joke. I honestly thought it had to be a joke because it looks so dumb to me. It looks so dumb to me. The trailer, and again, don't believe trailers, right? Like, I've said it forever. Don't believe trailers. I shouldn't have believed the trailer that it was that dumb, but I also don't know why you would put out a movie put your movie out in a trailer to make it look that dumb. Like, that's not going to make it enjoyable for anybody or like make people want to come see it. Apparently it did, and people went and saw it, and everyone loves it.
I think it's done very well.
You've told me this. Well, then Cash, Chris's son Cash, has not stopped talking about it since he's went and seen it. And my son Grady is with Cash all the time. And now Grady has nonstop hounded me literally since Saturday because him and Cash talked on their iPads about it. And from Saturday until today, I came here to pick Grady up. And he's like, "Can we go see Free Guy?" I said, "Yeah, probably this weekend, bud." He's like, "Can we go tonight?" I said, "No, we're not going tonight. Like, haven't planned for it. I don't have time." And he was the most disappointed. He's like, "I want to go right now. We got to go right now." I was like, it's not going to happen. Probably this weekend. And so now that I've told him that it's probably going to be this weekend, tomorrow after school, he's going to expect me to pack everything up, and we're leaving to go to the movies to go see Free Guy. If it doesn't happen tomorrow night, Saturday morning, first thing, he's going to be like, "When do we go? When's the movie?"
It was so good that right after the movie, me and Cash turned to each other and literally both said at the same time, "That was awesome."
That's cool. It makes me so excited because I love that experience.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the experience of going to a movie, especially with the boys. Like not only for myself or for us, like when we go and see movies, but going with kids now that are of the age to be able to
This movie
understand
is
it.
perfect for like any 8 to 14-year-old kid, especially if they play Fortnite.
Yeah.
Or video games in general.
So me and Grady and Grant, my middle son, us three are gonna go see it this weekend, and I'm way more excited for it now.
Yeah.
Hearing the review from you, because I know they're going to love it, and it'll be a really, really fun experience leaving because of the conversation on the way home.
I mean, I don't want to get you. It's not like a life-changing movie.
I get it.
But it's just really fun. And
Yeah.
it's a really good time at the movie. And it's a really good time where you're never going to have a second where you even think to like pick up your phone or like.
Yeah. No, that makes me excited. And I think about sitting there with a giant ass bowl of popcorn
Yeah.
and just shoveling it in my face with a cherry Coke. Just that experience alone is so great.
Nolan said, "Guess I know where me and my son are going to do with part of the $100 in gift cards I got for Christmas from AMC in 2019."
2019 gift cards. Perfect.
Absolutely. I have many hundreds, probably like $100 worth of Fandango gift cards, and I've been using them.
Yeah, that's what I always do too.
We got them for our anniversary.
I actually use an app called Flickster.
Yeah.
And
The only thing I don't like about Fandango is they charge you a stupid fee, but I have gift cards, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But we went to Joliet.
It's
I hadn't been to Joliet in a while.
kind
I've
of
been
my preferred location.
doing the Oswego thing for a while. I'm done with that. Joliet's the place to go. The reclining seats, that's the place to go, man.
I know you always talked about going to Oswego, and I liked it when we went, but I've been going to Joliet recently.
I just like Oswego for the GDX. So if you want to go to an IMAX level show, I like Oswego. But those reclining seats they get in Joliet, that's the place to go,
It's
man.
all reserved seating. You don't have to wait in line for anything. Once you've bought your ticket, that's why I always buy it in advance instead of getting it there.
It's hard to get tickets, though, because Like that theater we were in probably only had 50 seats. They cut down the amount of seats.
They've cut down the
significantly.
amount of seats, but if you can get in early and buy your ticket, you get really good seats regardless of where you're at. You have your own big recliner with heated seats if you need that, and a tray, that for you. It is amazing. And Grady loves that experience too. It's like, yeah, we're going to go to the one with the seats, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we are, dude.
So I definitely highly recommend it. That's my 2 cents on that.
That's cool.
That's all for me. So you got some?
The only one I have besides Ted Lasso, I've seen Ted Lasso's 4th episode, the one after the Christmas episode. And again, I mean, we're not going to talk about it until the season's over, but I have
great.
nothing to say bad about this show. Every character I love. That show, above anything else, has done
Did you
such a
squirt
good
out a
job.
few tears when Roy Kent came back?
I don't want to say.
It was a great scene. It kind of saved the episode
Yeah, it did.
because the episode was
It was all building towards that.
it was building towards that moment.
It was all building towards the moment, and you get it. You get what you want. The show always gives you what you want, and the way they've developed every single character to make you want to love them in every capacity of what they do is just sickening to me.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you do this?
I don't like Sam. He's annoying to me.
I don't know if he's annoying to me.
Yeah, he's just always like on a crusade against something.
Yeah, I can understand that. But you can also appreciate it for being opposite of other people.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not always, daisies, Chris,
Yeah, sometimes there's oil companies that spill oil in Nigeria.
Right. And shit all over everything.
Anyway,
So Ted Lasso, yes, I've been watching that. We will give a full hardcore review when the season's over. But I also watched, the only other thing that I've really watched besides baseball is I saw the first episode of the new Disney Plus show, Marvel show, What If?
yes, and I saw both episodes.
You've seen the first two, okay? The second one had to deal with Black Panther, right?
The second one was what if Black Panther became Star-Lord
In Guardians.
instead of Peter Quill?
Okay, that's interesting to me, and I want to watch that.
The first one is what happens if Agent Carter got the super soldier serum, and I guess she's Captain Britain instead of Captain America. But
Yeah.
what if she got it instead of Steve Rogers?
Right. And so that's where I was confused last week when I was talking about it before I saw the episode, is that I said she took over as Captain America. Really, she doesn't take over as... She does, but she doesn't. She does take the super soldier serum that Captain America couldn't get, but she does come as Captain Britain because she's British, and that's who she portrays after that. What I will say about this show, as a whole, I love it. I love the animation style, first off.
I mean, but yeah, before I get into any negatives, the animation is the best I've ever seen.
It is, bar none, the best I've ever seen.
It's stellar, and then sorry for the S's, but it's a stellar animation quality, and also like in that first one especially, the action sequences are brilliantly done.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Everything about that first episode to me was absolutely amazing. Do I necessarily enjoy the storyline?
That's the problem.
No.
I felt very bored at many points in both episodes.
Okay.
I did like the second one a little better. So plot-wise, I think there may be a little to be desired there. But do I like the concept? Yes. And for the animation and the action, her in those fight scenes where she's destroying the Nazis, I mean, that's incredible.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome to watch her do that. I thought the build up to the story in the first episode was better than, you get to like the midpoint, and then once the story arc starts falling over to like the third act of that one show, it fell off for me and got boring. It did get boring towards the end big time. The buildup of her being the new super soldier and then going to fight the bad guys, I thought was really fun. I thought that was great, and I thought it was going to come, like I was excited for what was going to come next, and it dropped off towards the end. That's the first episode. I haven't seen the second one. You may feel the same about the second one. You said you liked it a little better, but it blew me out of the water just because of the animation and fight scenes. I was drawn in right away and I was lost in that.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I started thinking about what the story was, and I was like, well, that was kind of boring. Like
It's just a little hollow.
I really didn't have any interest in what was going on in the story. I was just really enamored by the way it looked.
Right.
And the way they acted. I thought it was good. I think the voice acting was very good too.
Yeah.
But I'll have to see what more episodes are going to be about. It's nothing that I would base my week over. Like
Absolutely
waiting
not,
for
no.
it to be released to go watch a new episode. I will eventually watch all of the episodes that come out. Whether I do that week to week, I doubt. I will.
I would agree with that.
Just because, like I said, I mean, there are 2 episodes out right now, and I have not watched the second one because it didn't pull me in to say, like, I need to watch the second one right now. Let's get it in, like, watch all of them. I didn't do that.
I guess neither what if scenario that's been presented to this point
Is that interesting?
is shown that much. It's not that interesting to me.
Yeah. Now, there are some what if stories that are amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
That in the comic book world, there are huge what if stories that people really, really like. And I hope they tap into some of that stuff. But the first 2, I get why they did the Captain America one because it was the first Marvel
Yeah.
person, in the cinematic world. It surprises me about Black Panther as Star-Lord. That surprised me. I didn't think they would have that up front, but
there's a lot of what ifs in that episode. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of completely different.
you also have to kind of suspend the belief of what all of these comic book characters were before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a story of what if. Like, it's not going to be anything that you remember of the story being.
It's completely different. So, like, for example, in the second one, and this is not really a huge spoiler, but, like, it's him. He's like, the Ravengers were a completely different organization, and Yondu is a big character in it. Thanos is also a character in it.
Yeah.
The third episode is out, I think. What if all superheroes
I was just
disappeared?
reading it too. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So, I'm in. I'm just not gonna. It's not like a week to week must watch thing for me. But
No.
I liked it, and the animation's incredible, and I hope they can give us more.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard. It's a week to week show that nothing carries over.
Yeah, there's nothing to it.
So it's not one of those things that you're gonna get wrapped into, right?
You don't have to watch it.
Right.
Like, it doesn't tie into anything. It's just an animated series that they put out.
I love the intro though with the Watcher, like talking about the universe and the multiverse. That part's cool to me.
It's a great concept. We'll see what it is towards the end, but it's nothing blowing my mind by any means. But besides the animation, that does. I think it's great. But so that's it. That's all I've watched. I haven't really watched much more. Besides I always watch my weekly Hell's Kitchen and MasterChef and baseball.
New ones?
Yeah, new seasons.
See, I don't know. I don't have regular TV, so.
Yeah, the newest seasons of Hell's Kitchen and MasterChef are out, and I watch those usually back to back. I love them. Hell's Kitchen is incredible for yelling and screaming at these teams of people that are supposed to be professional chefs but can never cook on the spot. And then MasterChef is the opposite of that, where you have home cooks coming in to prove that they can cook in a kitchen, and be a master chef. I love that show because of what surprises you about it. I love cooking shows. I love Gordon Ramsay. I don't care if he's going to be doing these shows when he's 110 years old, because he will never die.
I love Gordon Ramsay too, but I tried to check out his new travel show on Nat Geo. I think it's on Nat Geo. It's on Disney Plus. It's like basically.
Yeah. I don't think he does that anymore, though.
I don't know, but I think it's a relatively new show. It's not good.
Oh, really?
It's very boring.
Yeah, well, that's not what I want to see, though. I want to see these reality competition
I want him
shows.
to slap pieces of bread against somebody's head
Yeah.
and call him an idiot sandwich.
Yeah. You donut. What, you donkey?
Kurt says,
It's raw.
Katie wants to know, have you talked about the new Flash season?
No,
I haven't
we
seen the
haven't
new
watched
Flash
it.
season.
I'm honestly probably 3 seasons behind.
I'm at least 2. Yeah, for sure.
I think I'm 3 seasons behind. I hate to say that. As soon as I saw her say Flash, it hurts me to say that I haven't been watching it. I love that show. I really do. Why I got out of it, the only reason I could say that I've gotten out of watching The Flash is because of the bombardment of new shows, new movies, new everything that continuously punch us in the face.
Yeah.
That I have to watch when like Star Wars was coming out, and then Mandalorian and all of the things Disney Plus was doing, and then Marvel keeps throwing things at me. And honestly, that's why all of that stuff is so new and enticing. Like the 6th or 7th Flash season just doesn't pull me in as much as what the new shows do. Do I need to go back and watch them? Yes, absolutely, because I do love the Flash.
She said you should be ashamed.
I am. I am ashamed, and I'm bloody hurt.
What are you, an idiot sandwich?
I am.
We forgot to talk about Batman, The Long Halloween.
Did you watch the second?
Yes, I did.
We've got time.
The Long Halloween.
Do you remember it?
Part 1 and Part 2. Yeah, I think so, vaguely.
We've got about 9 minutes.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid offering. I think it was anything that was like mind-blowing? No. But I thought it was a really solid offering in general from DC animated films. Again, it's probably one of the better ones.
That's what I was going to say. I think it is one of the best adaptations to animation that DC has done.
I mean, they did
recently.
The Dark Knight Returns.
Since then,
yeah.
Since then, this is one of the best ones.
It's very faithful to the comics. Is one thing I liked. It's in 2 parts, right? So it's 2 movies.
Yeah.
Very faithful. A, B, very rated R.
Yep.
Which I loved.
Yep.
And I like the fact that Part 1 and Part 2 are completely different in their tone, kind of. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I did enjoy... Part 2 is way more action heavy.
Right, because it's building the story in the first movie. So it's first
more
movie,
mystery. The first one's more mystery.
Yeah, mystery detective setup. It's trying to figure out what's going on. All these things start happening. Nobody knows why. And they're trying to figure it out. And then there's a little bit of a breakthrough towards the end that they're starting to realize what's going on. And then the second movie launches off of that, and you get the rest of the story. I think it is a relatively good representation of the comic book to movie. They've switched some scenes around. Like some scenes in the movie happen before they happen in the comic book, and some in the comic book happen before they happen in the movie. But overall, transmitting the story, and I think they did a really good job. It's a really good representation. And I mean, I've always loved the story.
At the end of the day, it's kind of a mob story,
Yeah,
right? So it's about
absolutely.
like the different mob families, their history, and their future.
And what you have to understand is that Batman is very new at what he's doing.
He's also a minimal character.
He is. He's not. It is a Batman story, but it's happening around him. And this is the second year, basically, that he's been Batman at this point. And there are so many things going on. You can't expect him to be able to be the overarching, like encompassing, like good guy to wrap it all in. He's got to have help. And I read some things where people were upset that Catwoman had such a big part, or that Harvey Dent's part was really big in the first part, and that Batman got his ass kicked too much. All these kind of things. But I think that's awesome. I honestly believe that that's a truer story to real life than just because his name is Batman and because he has certain abilities that he's just automatically going to walk in and just, trounce everyone all the time. It's not the case. He was new. He doesn't know what's going on. A lot of these people he's meeting for the first time, he does get his ass kicked, and it shows that he needs people around him in order to do his job, because he's not necessarily a superhero. He's a dude that just has certain abilities and needs everyone around him.
A very specific set of skills.
Yes.
I did like the fact that it plays with Batman kind of skirting justice
Yep.
or manipulating justice. I like that's not the best way to put it. I like that
riding the line
he
of what's
rides
right and wrong.
he rides the line that's what's right and wrong, but he also will side with the wrong side or let certain
Yeah.
things go or work with certain people that are problematic because it's the best way to get the job done. And I liked seeing that because I feel like it's a lot more realistic. And if you have the kind of power that Batman has, like in his, not only in his abilities, but in his whole mystique, because he really is built up by this point to be very symbolic, right? And so if you're carrying that kind of power, it's really easy. You know, I'm glad they didn't make it be like, okay, he's the Superman route where it's like, okay, well, I've used you to justify, or I've used you to get as a means to an end, but now that I've used you, justice has to be weighed upon you. No, it's not that way it works, and I like that.
Right. At the end of the day,
He's like, okay, you were a means to an end, and we'll let it be at that.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. At the end of the day, first off, I think I said this the last time when we talked about the first movie, but it blows me away at how much Christopher Nolan drew from this story for the Dark Knight trilogy, basically. Like Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and what's the third one? Dark Knight Rises. Definitely with the Dark Knight, he drew from this story big time, heavily.
The Harvey Dent story.
Yeah,
basically.
the whole Harvey Dent story and a lot of things that he does. And even in the third movie, when he's dealing with Catwoman, you know, a lot of that is pulling from this book.
We don't talk about the third movie.
I don't mind it. It's fine. But anyway, at the end of the day, I look at these movies to see what kind of representation they have from the comic book, because I feel like if you're going to create an animated movie based off of the comic book that they are doing, DC says, we're making an animated movie based off the comic book of Jeff Loeb's like Long Halloween. Okay. Well, I want to see that book in live action. You know, I mean, in animated action, you know. I want to see that represented to me on the screen. I feel like they did a very good job at that. I think it did it. I think it brought that book to life for me. I've read that book so many times, and I've had a love for it forever. And I think it did a really good job of it, and I have no problem with the movie whatsoever. So if you have ever read the comic book, I would say absolutely watch this movie. You will enjoy it. If you've never read the comic book, whatever. Watch this movie. You will enjoy it.
You do not have to have read any comic to see this movie.
You don't need to. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if you have read it and had reservations about the movie, don't go see it or watch it. If you don't want to read and, you know, are incredibly lazy and can't flip pages and have a mind of your own, that's fine. This movie will do it for you.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's good. It's very good.
If you are a fan of Batman in any capacity, then you should definitely see this.
Yes.
I mean, I would say, as far as expanding on what Batman is as a literary character, then this is a great representation of taking what in the movies can appear to be a one-note character and really expanding on that.
Yeah, I like that.
So if you enjoy Batman as a character, then this is a must-watch.
Yeah.
I think.
I completely agree with you.
Was it? I really can't point out any flaws other than the fact that, like, I guess I never got like super excited about it at any moment. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? But it still was a really solid offering with great action and a very mysterious story and a tone that was just right. You know,
You have a certain audience that wants to go watch animated movies. You know, we are of that audience. The majority of people would never think,
most people don't even know this exists.
right, would never think like, I better go watch that new animated movie that DC put out. No, nobody looks at that.
Right.
And to be honest, I don't necessarily pick up on it very much either, except that the news that I look at, it stumbles into my way, you know, throughout the news that I'm looking at for the show. And then I'll see that these movies are coming out, but I don't necessarily seek them out either. but man, they're fun.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I would
like 'em
say
a lot.
this has got to be, I really liked The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2. That would be my number one.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
really liked Justice League Dark. That
Mm-hmm.
was really good. And then this. So those three are
Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke was good.
We went to theaters and see
This
that.
is better than The Killing Joke, I thought.
I really liked The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
I thought that was really fun. I think the experience of seeing it in the movie theater made it better for me
Yeah.
because I've never went back to watch it.
I'm glad they made this in two parts, too, because it did allow them to make two different movies. And I think that was right. I don't know how you could condense it down into one movie.
Right.
They tried to do that with Hush, and it was a failure.
It didn't work.
And
I want to see Court of Owls
man, yes.
so bad. I want to see Death of the Family. I would see Death in the Family. That any Zack Snyder run of Batman, I want to see as an animated movie.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Yep.
And I feel like that needs to be the next thing they do. And if DC, if you're listening right now, which I'm sure you are, I don't understand why you wouldn't be, that's the next property you need to start doing for Batman anyways, is the whole Zack Snyder run. If you need anybody to consult you on that or to be a part of it, Chris and I would be more than welcome, to do that.
Did they make Year One into a movie?
I don't believe
I don't think they did. That was a good one. Nightfall's a very good one. That would be a good one
Nightfall.
to do.
Holy smokes, yeah. Well, and that's Nightfall's where you get the whole Bane breaking your back thing.
Right. Arkham Asylum, if they did it like the book, the Grant Morrison book, that would be great.
That'd be trippy.
Yeah, I'm trying to just see what.
There's a million, dude. Like, there are so many books that you could make into a movie of Batman that would be amazing. You could have horror. You could have detective. You could have action. You could span the gauntlet.
Death in the Family. Yeah, they should definitely make that. Because that could be a kind of a shorter one. That wasn't a super long book.
No, but it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And heart, like, there's so much heart and, like, emotion to those books.
I agree. So I think that's it. We've reached our time. Thank you for taking the journey with us.
Man, guys, it goes so fast.
Check us out on patreon.com
/Snarf
Comics. Follow us. Hit the like and share button if you would. We would
Yes.
appreciate it.
Share, folks.